What's going on, you guys? We are back with another Dokkan battle video. It's your boy Kaiza-Sama, and in today's video, we are going to go over the latest Dragon Ball Diamond stage. Just very briefly for the intro of the video, we're really just getting that out of the way. Letting you guys see the Goma boss that we're going to go up against, and really just getting a few things out of the way because there is a new celebration coming up very, very soon. So with that being said, the main goal of this video is to defeat the new Redzone stage though. So we do have a new Redzone stage of Youth Goku turning into the giant Great Ape, and we're basically going to use our extreme team to go up against the giant Great Ape Redzone boss. So that's going to be the main niche of this video. So like I said, this first little segment is basically just getting this story phase done and out of the way. By the time I have this uploaded, there is going to be another story stage that's going to be uploaded. From what I believe, that's going to include Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So the next Dokkan Battle video that I upload, I plan to upload it either within the same day of today or sometime tomorrow, just depending, when I really get the chance. I'll probably just include that story stage at the beginning of that video, just to give you guys a little, peek of what that looks like. Now, with that being said, and with us doing this video now, or at least me doing the commentary for this segment of the video, the the global Dokkan celebration that's about to come up within the next few days, we just recently found out that it's going to revolve around Future Saga. So I'm very interested to see what we're going to see from the Future Saga celebration, from the global Dokkan celebration, that's coming up. It's going to be interesting because we haven't had a buff to the Extreme Future team in a good long while. Well, I guess you don't have to make it just pure Extreme Future. Whichever, future characters you can put together to make that team work for you, then I highly suggest that. But yeah, we're going to see what they're going to cook up and if it's worth actually, spinning the stones for it and whatnot. All right, now we do have the first stage. Let me see. We are on turn 1. Now, the only thing about this first attempt, we don't really have the right placement. That's why we do end up taking an L in this first segment of the try. Go ahead. Should have just skipped through that, but I don't really see this support memory animation that often, so that's why we just went ahead and let it go through. Now, I am going to be very curious to see what is, exactly coming with the future celebration on the worldwide. I keep saying worldwide, on the global Dokkan celebration. Because if they drop a extreme unit, I wonder if it's going to be a extreme unit that can be used on, the just general extreme team altogether, or is that extreme unit still going to be based around future unit use? You know what I mean? So I am going to be kind of bummed out if I can't use the character on this type of extreme team, with the Broly characters and all that. And then, of course, I'll probably just go ahead and put the Tech LR Fusion Zamasu as like the leader, because his leader skill is still goated until this day. So I'm just gonna keep him as the leader once the new characters finally drop, and then I'm probably just gonna cook up 2 or 3 different teams. One team is probably gonna be comprised of excuse me, the, super extreme team. I said super extreme. The super class team, and then the next team after that will just be pure extreme, and then the other team that I make after that, see, couldn't get this to roll through. So this was the first attempt. As you just witnessed, we did lose, but I did hop right back in. We changed up a few things, just moved around something here and there, but we're pretty much going to get this done on the second run. Now, when I say we changed up things, we basically are going to have a different placement, and it's just going to flow a lot better for the remainder of the fight. And that can, dictate how you get a stage done, or, if you can actually defeat the stage. Placement, as far as, your own units and then orbs, that can kind of, dictate a few things here and there. So I'll just keep my eye on that if you are attempting this with a extreme class team. So let me see. We'll go ahead and get that domain procced up and transform Broly. Like I said though, I do hope that whatever characters do drop, we are kind of hoping for like a newer tag character to drop. If they can drop a tag character, Goku Black and Zamasu, then that will probably be a tremendous help to, the extreme class setup team, your future class setup team. It's probably more than likely going to be a huge boost to both of those teams. Now, like I was just saying though, whether or not you can use that character on different teams to where you can mix it up between super and extreme, that's going to be, the final question that we really need to find out. Alright, so we got Broly transformed. It's very interesting because I saw somebody on Twitter made a tier list, bro. And they really had the nerve to put LR Tech Broly like 3 levels below like some of the recent characters, and then some 10th anniversary characters, some easy A's. But the whole thing is that Broly was put like 3 levels below the 10th anniversary characters. And when I looked at the different levels of the tier list, I was like, yo, there's no way y'all really put Master Tao, and LRTN above LR Tech Broly. Now, granted, they could have nice abilities or whatever, that make them goated in their own sense. But I feel like, I don't know, dude. I feel like some characters are kind of like dragged out and kind of like exaggerated when you try to make it seem like they're just so goated and they help your team a lot and all that stuff. And then there's some characters where I feel like don't get enough recognition. They don't really get enough credit for what they actually contribute to the team. And I feel like that's really how Tech Broly is, dude. Like, I feel like when he first came out, yeah, of course, everybody, was riding at the man. Everybody was saying Tech Broly is this, Tech Broly that. But it's like, now it's almost like people really try to treat him as if he's a joke, or, try to treat it like they don't take him serious or whatnot. And it's funny to me because people will see a recent unit that comes out. Perfect example, LRTN, the Master Tao Dokkan Fest unit. Yeah, they help the Dragon Ball saga. They help you out in certain situations where it's like, yeah, it's kind of rare, or you have to make this very specific team to even make this character viable and actually utilize them within a powerful fight. And it's like, if you have to kind of like look at that, and the character can't go on like multiple teams, that's kind of where you lose me on, you know, that topic of discussion on trying to make that character seem like they're just goated and all this other stuff, because it's like, dude, Dragon Ball Saga. Yeah, like I said, if you have the right characters and you can create the team to where there's, you know, no issue with it, you know, if the only reason you lose is because of character placement, cool, you know. But then there's the teams where you make, and it's kind of like, all right, bro, you low-key got lucky as hell, and you have specific characters that majority of other people probably don't have. You know what I'm saying? So even then, it's like, to just go ahead and put a certain unit that high on the tier list is kind of crazy to me. You know, perfect example, LRTN, Master Tao. You got, you know, a couple other characters. I can't think of them right off the top of my head. I don't know why. Might have to just pull it up while we're doing this commentary. Let me see. So I was just looking at it. Okay, yeah. Gotta bring this up. So right now we're doing pretty good against his giant grade 8 boss. Because so far we haven't taken that much damage. And then if we've had, you know, damage dealt, then we've had the opportunity to actually, you know, recuperate from that. Let's see, this really some goated placement right here. The only thing is, it's going to be a little bit weird to see Int Broly get some orbs, but the good thing about him is that he can take Int orbs and STR orbs, and they, you know, they both benefit him. Now, where is this tier list at? I was just talking about it. Okay. So, as we look at the tier list, Tech. Okay, good. So Tech Broly, from what I've seen recently, he's on kind of like the regular S tier level, and then Int Broly, you know, he's pretty much not really in like the top 10 or top 15. He's pretty much like top 20-ish. Not saying that he's a bad character whatsoever, just saying that from what he does, you need to have him on a very strong supporting team. You know, he definitely is that character, that Broly version where you put him on an all extreme team, and then Tech Broly is one of those Broly characters where it's like, okay, he's pretty versatile on pretty much, you know, multiple team setups. Now, like I was saying with the tier list itself, the fact that Tech Broly, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it gets me a little bit when I sit here and I look at it. Because I'm looking at Truth's tier list right now, and his makes a lot of sense. And then I saw another tier list where somebody made one, and it composed of the TURs as well. And I, you know, from what I'm seeing on Truth's tier list, Tech Broly is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's number 7 on this list. Once I saw somebody else's tier list on Twitter, and theirs consisted of the TURs as well that have dropped within the past year and a half up until now, I saw like 4 or 5 TURs that are also above Tech Broly, you know, according to somebody else's, you know, opinion, of course. And it was just like, yo, what are you talking about, bro? Like, to say a TUR in its longevity is going to surpass the longevity of a, you know, all-around supportive, you know, LR Broly character that just decimates, you know, multiple enemies, you know, when you're going up against stages that they have multiple enemies and stuff, the all-out attack. It's just kind of wild to me, and I get it. Tech Broly is not one of those characters that just holds up, the good side, the pros of his benefits for the entire side of the fight. Once you get deeper into the fight, some good things about Broly, some of the cons, or I'd say some of the pros, do kind of decrease just a tad, to where he's not just overly OP like he was when the fight first started. But I feel like that's still not a valid reason to like sit there and say 5 other TURs are better than him. Like, I don't know. That, to me, that's kind of insane. Like, and the tier list I saw had Tien and Master Tao and a couple other TURs above Broly. And it just kind of shocked me a little bit. And I was like, yo, I know I'm not one of the Dokkan, geometry specialists and all that shit. But, like, I have common sense, too. And I play this game very much so often. And to sit here and say a few other TURs are above Tech Broly, like I said, it's just kind of insane to me. But let's finish up. Let's finish up the commentary on the actual video. Youth Kid Goku that goes into Great Ape, he is a powerful boss, so it is going to take a powerful extreme team or powerful superclass team, whichever one you plan to bring into the fight. Make sure you know what you're doing, and then like you saw with this video, it may take you more than just one attempt. I'm going to move these around, put Tech Broly in the front. Then we got, so that'll work out perfectly. Just go ahead and do that. We could do STR or in orbs. I'm going to do the STR so we can give the in orbs to Broly. That makes just a little bit more sense to me. Or we can just give him the tech orbs. That's cool too. But pretty much this fight, and really all of the Redzone fights that are coming out now, they're going to take a little bit of elbow grease. They're going to take a little bit of grinding. They're going to take a little bit of restart, getting the placement right as far as your slots. Some orbs might not be in place that you want them to be on this turn. So, the newer Redzone bosses are definitely going to take a little bit of patience and just, really consider the team that you're building, the equips, the dodge. Some of the bosses actually nullify dodge. So in some of these cases, it's not even going to help you like that. You're just going to need, actual formidable units that can, like, withstand what's going on. Now, from what I've seen with this extreme class team, we're pretty much, like, good, dude. Because if we didn't have to use AGL Broly in his transformation with the domain and all that, then I consider it, a pretty good, consistent fight to where it's not going to take too long if you, like I said, you just know what you're doing. But if you enjoyed this video, let me know down in the comments. Let me know what team you used to get this challenge done. I love the extreme class team, and I am looking forward to seeing what future saga, what that celebration is going to have for the Dokkan global celebration and all that. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Like I said, let me know down in the comments what you thought about this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Be safe.